ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the Roseburg Indoor for their second night of their opening weekend for the 2022-2023 winter season. Got the beautiful Holmes Racing family ride AT&T sitting right here, which we were able to park in Victory Lane last night. I think in the video at the end I said it was a clean sweep because I forgot that we went second quick. For some reason in my head I just thought it was a clean sweep and that we went quick time. But you know what that means? That means there's room for improvement. So the goal would be to sweep tonight and technically sweep the weekend between the A main events and try to get the AT&T back in Victory Lane. I think if we, cross all of our T's and dot all of our I's, we definitely can do so. With all that in mind though, we are dealing with some typical Oregon weather. It's been raining on and off all morning, which sucks. And I think the high today is like 45 degrees. So it's safe to say it's gonna be pretty cold all day long. Did want to walk up here to the track though and check out the surface before we begin all the action. You can see the beautiful banking up top, the flatter bottom, and right now the racetrack's pretty sticky and has a bunch of grip. With this weather, I would not be surprised if this thing stays pretty fast like it did yesterday. It's just tough, like when there's rain, when our tires are wet and it's raining and it's just so cold, it's hard for a track to really lose grip. But I could be wrong because it is the second, actually technically the third day they're running laps on the track because they ran practice on Friday. But hopefully we just see something good where we can pass and make moves and put on a great show. But first thing to hit the track will be qualifying, and then that will set us up for everything after. Well, we went out pretty much in the last group for qualifying, which was exactly where we wanted to be because the racetrack was actually pretty greasy and it's still kind of working its way in. And I was right, this rain is not gonna help. I mean, and it's gotten worse. Earlier when we talked, it honestly was kind of just drizzling, but now it's coming down. And with how far away we are from the building, this is making today just a tiny bit tougher. But we went out late, we were able to put the AT&T at the top of the charts, so quick time on the night. Ended up resetting the car to basically just where we started yesterday, and I played with the air pressures a little bit just to try to get through some of the more uneven parts of the track. I talked about with the 4-stroke, you're so into the track and you have so much grip that going through the holes is way worse than a CR500. You just start bouncing and you can't control it. But we're gonna work on that throughout the night. With that quick time, we will be on the pole of heat race number 1. We need to win that, and then we will have an inverted heat after where we start last, and they'll take your finishes, combine them, and then line us up for the A main event later.
Change the right rear.
Yeah, I changed the right rear. So made some...
You're going to change the left rear for the main?
I'm not sure yet.
You changed both of them before.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to leave it at that right now. So first heat race is complete. Led all 8 laps. Got a good start and just kind of got going. Felt like, very similar to last night when the track's hooked up like this. Just got to make some progress, and it doesn't help. I talked about those uneven spots. My car still isn't really getting through those areas very well. So I changed the right rear tire. That's gonna cut a little bit of stagger, which I don't want to tighten up the car, but that was a new tire last night and I just know it's gonna be good. The tire that I've been running to start, it was a takeoff from another team and it had sat out, and I don't know what it is. I just don't feel like it's gripping up. So I think it's the tire itself. So I'll just kind of save it for maybe whatever. We also took some cross out of the car. When your cross number is lower, that loosens up the car. So even though we tightened it up with stagger, we tried to fix a different area with the cross, and hopefully that will just help me get through the center and off the corner and keep rotated, and that will just build more corner speed. But this next heat race, I'm gonna be starting third row outside, It is still raining. Trying to keep dry, which is an interesting factor actually, because it's almost like the track is staying greasy, at least for a couple of laps. Then it burns in, then more cars come out, it's greasy again, and it's just such an odd process. But we're gonna start 6th. The goal is to move forward. Good heat race for us. Started 6th and just got busy from the drop of the green flag. The first couple of laps of these heat races, when they're inverted, are a complete hornet's nest. Guys are kind of jumbling around, and you're just trying to pick the right lane choice, because, you know, picking the correct spot can be the difference in gaining 3 positions or losing a spot or not moving at all. And that adjustment we made in between heats, I think, was a good move. I ended up running higher than I normally do around this place, because I talked about it being greasy from all the rain. Well, when guys run the bottom in the middle, that's greasy, but no one was way up top, so I just moved higher than the normal racing groove, and up there seems to be sticky. So made really good momentum, and our adjustments seem to make the car much more stable. I'm a little tight on exit, so maybe I'll deal with that, but as it maybe gets worked in a little bit more, the track might come right to where our race car's at. But got a lot of great speed, should be rolling off from the pole of tonight's Open A main event. Well, down here checking out turns 1 and 2 at Roseburg during their quick intermission. Told you guys we are on the pole of tonight's A main event, so they're gonna be posting the full lineup soon. But just wanted to look at the surface and see if we can pick apart where I think we will be running for the A. The bottom's actually not bad because it's so short around, but I really think the banking up here is probably gonna be the way to go. It looks really promising, and with my theory of how much water we're bringing out onto the track, you know, once we throw 14 of us out here for an A main event, I feel like it might be really slimy for 4 or 5 laps. It might not burn in. So the fact of, you know, running up here in this good dirt, if no one's rolling around up here under yellow, that's going to be gripped up, and everywhere else is going to be maybe a little bit messy. So I think it might be a game of who can get to the top first and just work on putting together a good line and try to check out.
Jacksonville's Tanner Holmes.
The rain is still coming down. Got everything all loaded. I'm kind of a mess. I'm soaked. My feet are wet, a little bit cold, but we were able to get the victory tonight at the Roseburg Indoor. Officially a clean sweep, almost a perfect weekend, minus our second place qualifying run yesterday. It's hard to say, but at times during that A main event, granted we didn't really get as many green laps as I was hoping for. I didn't want to have to do a bunch of restarts, and I did, but that was the most comfortable I feel like the car was all weekend as far as balance-wise, like good drive, like didn't do anything crazy, didn't go in the corner. Even if I made a mistake, like it stayed under me and it felt like it was constantly going forward. And then probably right towards the end of the race, we had a restart, and then the 69 who I was battling with yesterday, he bombed me in 3 and 4, and he came over and apologized, and it was, you know, it wasn't a clean move. I have to watch it back to comment on it fully, but like I couldn't even see him in the corner because I like half slid myself. I didn't even see him until he hit me. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like we almost squared up. Like that's what it felt like, which, you know, would mean that it wasn't like I had a chance to react to his move to try to gain the lead. So that was super frustrating, but they said he had jumped that start. It was confusing. Like they said he jumped the start, but they didn't call it till after the incident happened. So I got the lead back, but yeah, anyway, that whole deal sucked because you can just see a little bit of wing damage, and I don't know if it hurt my front end. My car didn't feel as good after because it got a little banged up, but I don't know. That's just part of kart racing. Anyway, though, I don't really have much more to say about that. We came out this weekend. We did our job. We were swinging. We were aggressive. We were patient when needed. And, you know, I feel like this was, like I said, just overall a good weekend. Today was a little bit miserable because of the weather, but we made the most of it, and we were able to, I guess, technically get out the broom. So thank you guys so much. Thanks to Factory QRC. Thanks to my family. And we are now 2 for 2 in the Black 18T during the 2022-2023 winter right here at the Roseburg Indoor. See you guys next weekend at the Timber 50, and more content to end 2022. Deuces.